Having received permission from God, I come to you today as a teacher, to teach you about the 30 sayings of the wise sages in the book of Proverbs. What a sacred privilege to be your teacher. Therefore, I want to do all I can to ensure I make what I teach you today memorable. Therefore, I will make it as concise as possible by distilling them into single words for each saying, and I will start with the first 8 of them. Listen to the first 8 of the 30 sayings of the wise sages in Proverbs. That's Proverbs 22:17 to 24:22. 1. Listen, pay attention to wisdom and apply it to your heart as you allow it to settle inside you. Proverbs 22:17 to 18:2. Trust, lean not on fleeting human counsel, but place your confidence in the Lord. Put your confidence in the Lord, not just in human wisdom. Proverbs 22:19. 3. Speak, let your words be filled with truth and knowledge. Let it be a vessel of truth, not deception. Proverbs 22:20 to 21. 4. Defend, do not exploit the poor or oppress them, but stand against the oppression of the poor and vulnerable. Proverbs 22:22 to 23. 5. Avoid, stay away from those with a hot temper, whose anger burns uncontrollably. Proverbs 22:24 to 25. 6. Pledge, avoid rash and reckless financial commitments, especially co-signing debts that can bind you. Proverbs 22:26 to 27. 7. Integrity, do not tamper with ancient boundaries, respect what is rightfully others and do not encroach upon what is not yours. Proverbs 22:28. 8. Diligence, excellence in work leads to recognition and success, for a person skilled in their work will stand before kings. Proverbs 22:29. Let me unveil them to you through a story, a true account of one whose life stood in direct opposition to wisdom. 1. Listen, wisdom calls, but who will hear? Proverbs 22:17 to 18. In the great Persian Empire there was a man named Haman, elevated to high rank by King Ahasuerus. The king honored him, and all were commanded to bow before him. But among the multitude stood one man who refused, Mordecai, a Jew who feared God above men. Had Haman listened to wisdom, he would have searched out the matter before letting rage consume him, but he shut his ears to truth and allowed his pride to rule his heart. 2. Trust, in whom do you place your confidence? Proverbs 22:19. Mordecai trusted in the Lord, but Haman trusted in his position, his power, and the favor of the king. He believed his status was unshakable, that his wealth was his fortress. He did not know that those who trust in themselves stand on sinking sand. 3. Speak, words reveal the heart. Proverbs 22:20 to 21. When Haman spoke before the king, his words were filled with deceit. There is a certain people scattered abroad in your kingdom who do not keep your laws. If it pleases the king, let them be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver into your treasury. Haman's words were not filled with knowledge but with falsehood. He twisted the truth for his own gain. His speech, poisoned with hatred, set in motion his downfall. 4. Defend, do not exploit the helpless. Proverbs 22:22 to 23. Haman sought to destroy not the strong but the vulnerable, a people exiled in a foreign land. He exploited his influence to bring harm to the weak, but God defends the oppressed. When Mordecai heard of Haman's plot, he did not remain silent. He defended his people, fasting and crying out to God, and in the courts of heaven their plea was heard. 5. Avoid, beware of the wrathful man. Proverbs 22:24 to 25. Haman was a man of unchecked anger. His fury at Mordecai's refusal to bow led him to plot a genocide. Instead of confronting his pride, he allowed hatred to fester. Had he avoided the path of wrath, his story might have ended differently. But anger blinds the heart and leads to destruction. 6. Pledge, be wary of rash commitments. Proverbs 22:26 to 27. Haman promised the king a vast sum of silver in exchange for the annihilation of the Jews. He pledged beyond what he could afford, making reckless commitments in his hunger for power. Yet, in the end, the wealth he promised could not save him. His own life was demanded before he could pay his debt. 7. Integrity, do not tamper with what is rightfully another's. Proverbs 22:28. Haman sought to take what was not his, the honor of Mordecai, the lives of the Jews, and even the queen's favor. He overstepped the boundaries of righteousness, believing he could manipulate his way to greater glory. But what is not given by God cannot be taken by force. The boundaries of justice are not easily moved. 8. Diligence, excellence leads to honor. Proverbs 22:29. Mordecai was a man of diligence. Though he was but a gatekeeper, he remained steadfast in righteousness. Until next time, this is King Solomon saying bye, and may God richly bless you, my beloved.